Hello, this is Muthuswamy. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a form in ConvertKit and use it in a WordPress or Wix website. Forms are great tools to generate leads for a business. You can use a form on a website or on a landing page or a sales page. There are several types of forms available to use on a website. In this video, I'm going to show you some examples for the most frequently used forms. I'm going to show you example for inline forms, modal pop-up forms, sliding forms, and sticky bar forms. Among these forms, modal pop-up forms are more intrusive than other forms. When we design a modal pop-up form, we need to make sure that the form is as less intrusive as possible. Inline forms are displayed as part of a web page. In this example, we can see we have a simple inline form displayed as part of the website's homepage. We can see another example. In this example, we have a simple inline form which is displayed at the bottom of the website's homepage. Inline forms are less intrusive and easily it grabs user attention. Next, I'm going to show an example for modal pop-ups. You might be familiar with modal pop-ups. Modal pop-ups are shown when a user does something on a web page. For example, when a user clicks on a button, we can show a pop-up. Or when a user scrolls through a page and reaches a particular position of the page, we can show a pop-up. Or when a user tries to leave a page, we can show the pop-up and grab his attention at the last moment. One thing we need to keep in mind, pop-up forms are more intrusive than other types of forms. So we need to make sure that we are not displaying the pop-up forms more often to a user. In this example, when I scroll through the page and reaches a position, and you can see there is a pop-up. Next, I'm going to show an example for sliding forms. Sliding forms shows up in a corner of the screen. Sliding forms are less intrusive and easily grabs user attention. In this example, when I scroll through this page and reaches a particular position, the sliding forms will appear. Next, I'm going to show you an example for sticky bar forms. Sticky bar forms are displayed on a web page at a fixed location. Normally, sticky bar forms are displayed either at the top of the web page or at the bottom of a web page. In our example, we have a simple form displayed at the bottom of the page. So this form is always visible and it is less intrusive. Okay, now let's go to ConvertKit and start creating a sign-up form. I have logged into my ConvertKit account. To create a form in ConvertKit, click on landing pages and forms. Then click on create new button. In this page, you can create either a form or landing page. We are going to create a form. So click on form. ConvertKit allows you to create 4 types of forms. So I'm going to create an inline form in this video. In a later video, I will create a modal pop-up forms and show you how to integrate that with a Wix or WordPress website. So I'm going to click inline. ConvertKit offers a few templates to create your sign-up form quickly. I'm going to choose this template. The template is loaded in a simple editor. First things first, let's update the form name. I'm going to create a sign-up form to receive a yoga newsletter. So I'm going to change the image first. I already have few images for yoga. I'm going to choose this one. Okay, now I'm going to update this text. Okay, by default, the template has only email field, but you can add more fields into the sign-up form. To add more fields, you can click on plus circle. On the right side, you can choose a field. Yeah, we have few custom fields available. So I'm going to choose first name. Now I'm going to apply some style for these text boxes. I'm going to change the font color to black. 000, and also I'm going to change the border color. Okay, next I'm going to update the button. Change the background color. Okay, now we have completed the designing of sign up form. Click on the save button to save the changes. Next, we are going to make a few settings to make sure our sign up form works correctly. Click on settings menu and go to general. Okay, in this settings we are going to set what we want to do when the user clicks on the subscribe button. So we can either show a success message or we can redirect the user to an external page. I'm going to show a success message. I'm going to use the default success message. Next is domain name. If you want to host your sign up form and share the URL on social platforms, then we can set up the domain name. ConvertKit offers free domain name for hosting sign up form. We can also set up our own custom domain to use for our sign up forms. I have created a video on how to set up a custom domain for a landing page. The link is given down below in the description. You can follow the same step to set up a custom domain for sign up form as well. In our case, we are not going to host our form. We are going to embed our form on a website. So I'm not going to set anything in the settings. Next, I'm going to click on incentive. In these settings, we will decide whether we want to use double opt-in method or single opt-in method. You might be aware of what is double opt-in method. In double opt-in method, we will send a confirmation email when the user subscribes to a mail list. It is recommended to use double opt-in method for a couple of reasons. First reason is we can make sure that the entered email address is valid or not. The second reason is we can make sure that the entered email address is owned by the user. And the third reason is in some countries we need to get user acceptance before sending any emails to them. So it is always recommended to use double opt-in method. We don't want to use single opt-in method. If you want to use single opt-in method, we can select this checkbox. I'm not going to use it. Next, we can edit the content of the confirmation email. Click on edit email contents. Okay, you can change the from email address and subject line and email content. You can see that we have a confirmation button. When the user clicks on the confirmation button, he will be subscribed to our email list. Okay, I'm going to save the email. In the next settings, we can set what we want to do when the user clicks on the confirmation button on the email. We can send him to a web page like this. In some cases, if you want to offer a lead magnet when a user subscribes to your email list, in that case we can upload the lead magnet by clicking on download button and then upload your lead magnet. In our case, we are not offering any lead magnet. Next, I'm going to click on advanced tab. In these settings, we can set what we want to do to the return visitors who have already subscribed to our form. We can either show the form to the user or we can hide it. So in our case, we can hide the form, and also you can enable invisible reCAPTCHA to avoid automatic subscription by bots. Okay, now I'm going to save the settings. Again, I'm going to save the form. Okay, we have completed the designing of our sign up form. Now it's time to embed our form on a website. Click on embed menu. You can see there are different methods we can use to embed our form on a website. The first method is using JavaScript. In this method, you just copy the script into your website where we want to embed our form. The next approach is HTML approach. In this method, you can just copy the HTML and paste it into your website where you want to embed the form. This sounds technical, but I'll show you how to do that shortly. The next approach is using WordPress plugin. To use this approach, we need to install ConvertKit WordPress plugin and use this shortcut code on the place where we want to embed our form. If you want to share our sign up form on social platform, you can just copy this URL and create post around it and post it on social platforms. Okay, first I'm going to show you how to embed the form on a WordPress website. So before embedding the form, let's first install the ConvertKit plugin for WordPress on our website. Let's go to our WordPress website. I have logged into my WordPress website. Now go to plugins and click on add new. Here just enter ConvertKit. Okay, you just make sure that the plugin that you're going to install is made by ConvertKit. Click on install now. Now activate it. Okay, ConvertKit plugin for WordPress is installed successfully. Now we need to make few settings. Click on settings. On the settings page, we need to enter the API key and API secret. We need to get API key and API secret from our ConvertKit account. So let's go to ConvertKit and get the API key and API secret. I have logged into my ConvertKit account. Click on the profile picture. Next, click on account settings menu. In this page, you can see your API key and also API secret. API secret is hidden. You can click on show link to show it. Okay, I'm going to copy the API key and paste it into my WordPress website. Again for API secret as well. Now click on save changes. Now to see whether the plugin has successfully connected to our ConvertKit account, just click on refresh forms and see whether we have the forms. Yes, we have the forms from our ConvertKit account. Okay, now click on save changes again. Okay, now we have completed the settings for the ConvertKit plugin. Now let us go to a WordPress page and embed our ConvertKit form into that page. Click on pages. I'm going to edit this page with the help of the editor Elementor. The page is loaded into the Elementor editor. You might know the Elementor editor is one of the most popular WordPress editor. You can use it for creating web pages in WordPress. Later in this video, I will show you how to use classic WordPress editor and embed our ConvertKit form into a page. Now let's find an element, namely HTML. Click on the element and drop it into the place where we want to embed our form. Now we are going to use the first method. The first method is using the JavaScript. I'm going back to ConvertKit and copy the JavaScript and paste it in the HTML element. Okay, now our form is appeared on the page. Let us fix the alignment issue. Click on advanced. It seems to be fine. Click on update. Let's preview the changes. Okay, the form is appearing on the correct place. Let's go back to the page and use the second method, that is using the HTML. Again, go and search for HTML element. Drag the element into the page where you want to embed the form. I'm going to place this here. Now go back to ConvertKit and copy the HTML code. Copy. Then you click on the HTML code and paste it. And also apply some style to fix the alignment issue. Okay, now update the page. Click on the preview. Now we have two forms. One is embedded using the JavaScript and another one is embedded using the HTML. Next, go back to the page. Next, we are going to use the third approach, that is using shortcut code. Go back to elements and look for shortcode element. Drag the element into the place where we want to embed our form. Now go back to ConvertKit and click on WordPress and copy the shortcut code and paste it here and update it. Let's fix the alignment issue. Click on update button. Click on the preview icon to see the changes. Okay, now we have 3 forms. You might ask which one to use, whether I want to use JavaScript or I want to use HTML or WordPress shortcut code. So it is always better to use the JavaScript or WordPress code. I'll show you why it is. Go back to ConvertKit and do some changes on your form. Like I'm going to rearrange the text boxes. Now I'm going to save the changes. Now the form is updated. We have rearranged the text boxes. Now let's go back to our web page and refresh the page and see what is happening. You can see the first form, we used JavaScript to embed the form. The changes we made in ConvertKit has been applied here. If we go to the next form, the changes that we made in ConvertKit, it's not applied to this second form. The second form was embedded using the HTML code. And if you go to the third form, here also the changes that we made at ConvertKit has been applied. So it is always better to use JavaScript or WordPress shortcut code. Now let's go to another WordPress page, and using the WordPress classic editor, I'll show you the same thing. Okay, we have loaded the same page in WordPress classic editor. In this page, I'm going to embed our forms at the bottom. Click on the plus and search for HTML element and click on that. First, let us copy the JavaScript code. And paste it here. And update the page. Click on preview. Scroll down a bit. Okay, so the form is embedded using JavaScript. Next, go back to the page and again search for HTML element and click it. Now go back to ConvertKit and copy the HTML code for the form and paste it here. And now update the page and again preview the changes. Okay, now we have 2 forms. Now again I'm going back to the page and click on the plus icon. This time I'm going to use the WordPress shortcode. Click on shortcode and go back to ConvertKit and click on WordPress and copy it and paste it here and update. Again preview. Okay, you can see 3 forms embedded into the page. So we have seen how to embed a ConvertKit form using the Elementor editor and the WordPress classic editor. Next, I will show you how to embed our ConvertKit form into a Wix website. I have logged into my Wix website. I'm going to embed our ConvertKit form into this home page. Click on plus circle and go to embed and click on embed a widget. We can resize it and click on settings. Okay, one thing we need to understand is the Wix website does not support JavaScript approach. We can only use the HTML approach, so we need to copy the HTML from ConvertKit and paste it here. I'm going to click on HTML and copy the HTML code and paste it here and update. I'm going to resize the form and click on preview. Scroll down to see the form. Okay, so the form is embedded into the Wix website. We cannot use WordPress shortcode in Wix website. If you like this video, please click on the like button. Please subscribe to our channel and click on the notification bell icon to get notifications on our future videos. Thank you.